ज्ञानभक्तिवराक्य संकोलं दुरधर संदोषं नित्यदिरप्ति सुखिर्वं स्वच्छिदानन्दस्वरूपं निरुष्टिलयपोदभवनादीदं ब्रह्मज्ञानशिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं केशकालवस्त्रपरिच्छेदरहितं सुसादिविसा.
So hello everyone and welcome to the latest episode of Om-gnosis. Today I am joined by Dr. Radha Raghunathan, the Director and General Editor of the Adyar Library and Research Centre. And so I'm really excited to learn about Dr. Raghunathan's work and her life and the operations of the Adyar Library and Research Centre, ALRC for short. And so with that, I'd just like to say thank you for taking the time for this interview as part of Harvard Divinity School. And if you could just first tell me a little bit about yourself, how you became interested in philosophy and learning, and what led you to this position.
Basically, I started with studying botany in my graduation days, and then I worked as a banker for a few years until I became a full-time homemaker, taking care of all family responsibilities and traveling with the family for the sake of the family. And when I came back to India in 1992, I just went back to what was already my interest, and I had thought, let me start learning Sanskrit and Vedanta, because these were primarily my interests that I wanted to learn, and I began to learn. And I was very fortunate to listen to the lectures of His Holiness Swami Paramatmananda Saraswati, a disciple of both their Holinesses Swami Jñānāṅkuśam Saraswati as well as Swami Dayananda Saraswati. And from there on, I have been traveling in the path of Vedanta, picking up knowledge as being taught by Swami Paramatmananda Saraswati. And as time progressed, I came across so many other Vedantins from whom I could really learn more. And that is how my interests deepened, and I had this affinity to write since my young age, and so the writing started taking expression through translations and my study of Vedanta works. And at one point of time, when I wanted to publish, this is the first work that I took up as a novice, Vedānta Muktāvalī. This is by Bellaṁkoṇḍa Rāmarāya Kavi. He has written several works, more than almost 120 works he has written. But only in recent years there is an interest in studying Rāmarāya Kavi's works. But when I started more than 15 years ago, not much had been done on Rāmarāya's works. So I wanted to do a translation of Vedānta Muktāvalī. Let me first tell you what Vedānta Muktāvalī is about.
Okay.
Here, Rāmarāya Kavi, he tries to summarize 12 major Upanishads and give his own commentary called Dinakara Vakya. Dinakara Vakya is the name of his commentary. And he wrote Sanskrit in Telugu script.
Oh, wow.
And this was in the press. He didn't have the wherewithal to get it out of the press, and he passed away very young. He was not even 40 when he passed away, and it was lying in the press. And then years later, a donor, he found that all was there, and he got them out, and it has been lying, with his family, the people who came after him. Strictly speaking, Rāmarāya Kavi had no issues, but it is said that he adopted a boy, and we wouldn't go into so many details, but the point is, after the book was brought out of the press, it was completely unedited version. It needed a lot of proofreading. The Telugu script itself needed a lot of proofreading, and I happened to get a copy of that printed book.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
Okay, I happened to get one copy, and I am not a Telugu person. I do not know Telugu language, but I learned the script.
Okay.
When I started doing this, it was, as if, trying to figure out a photo,
Yeah.
use a photographic image to figure out what that letter was. And that is how this whole book has turned out. If you see the Sanskrit that is written,
Yes. The
all
Devanagari
this
there.
was in Telugu script.
Okay.
But I went letter by letter trying to find out, what each letter was. What helped me was my knowledge of Sanskrit.
I see.
And knowledge of Vedanta, knowledge of the Upaniṣads, to figure out what he was trying to say. And he was trying to bring out, follow Shankaracharya's commentary, and that is how this book turned out. And all I could do is I wanted to bring out an edited version of the book in the first place. If you see, this itself is this big with the the 12 Upanishads with the commentary.
Okay.
But what I did was, at that time, I just had to write an introduction to this, and so my introduction is quite deep, and it is extensive for this work. But at some point of time, I would be doing a translation also of this. That is one part. But this is my first work,
Okay, your first. Okay.
my very first work. But what came out first was that book, the Jñānāṅkuśam. This was the first one that came out. Though this was the first work I wrote, this was the first book that came out.
That actually was published.
Yeah, published.
Yes, okay, I see.
So, and this Jñānāṅkuśam is supposed to be by Shankaracharya. We do not have confirmation on that.
Okay.
And it is hardly about 25 verses, which talks about the importance of Kshama, the tolerance. And I find that it is most suited for renunciates who should be practicing it. Maybe, it is part of that sadhana, chatushtaya, the fourfold discipline needed by a Vedanta student, as well as certainly by a sannyasin. And then followed the other works, like I wrote the Ashtashloki. This Ashtashloki was written, during Ramanuja's 1000th year of celebration.
Wow.
This Ashtashloki was actually a work by Parashara Bhatta. He gives the essentials of Viśiṣṭādvaita in very few verses. But he covers all the essentials of Viśiṣṭādvaita. And for this, there was a Maṇipravāla commentary by Pratibhadi Bhayankaram Anangaracharya. That Maṇipravāla commentary is called Sarartha Deepikai. What is Maṇipravāla? It is actually a combination of Sanskrit and Tamil. So, my knowledge of Sanskrit and Tamil came in handy when I did this.
Very much so.
Yes.
I'd expect.
And it happens to, and when we talk about this Maṇipravāla language, there is a specific Vaishnavite Tamil. It is not, like any Tamil that we talk.
Sure.
So it is very specific for the Vaishnavite philosophical text. So this book was brought out to commemorate Ramanuja's 1000th year. And around the same time, it was Deśika's 750th year. And this is a tough text by Paramata Bhaṅga. It's a very tough text by Deśika.
Okay.
Very
Paramata
not
Bhaṅga.
even the Vaishnavite scholars, they don't delve deep into this. Why? Because it deals with 15 philosophies. So unless they have some knowledge of all the philosophies, it's not possible. And here, my training as a philosophy student came in handy. I did my master's in philosophy much later after coming. Like I told, I came back in 92, and after that, almost 10 or 15 years later or so, I went back. Not 15 years, 10 years later, I went back to complete my studies I did in philosophy, because by that time I had gone very deep into Vedanta. And how this Vedanta Muktāvalī came into being is when I wrote it, the publishers asked me, do you hold a PhD?
Oh, really? Already they were just asking.
And
yes.
I just thought, so you need a piece of paper, not the knowledge.
Yeah.
I was already well into it and I was already capable of doing it,
Sure.
but they needed a piece of paper. And I thought, I'm capable of getting you that piece of paper if that's what you want.
Yes.
And I went ahead and got that piece of paper. That is why I'm a director here today. Let me tell you that.
Wow.
Oh my. Okay. Now, anyway, that is a different story. But the point is, once you have that is why I can straddle between Advaita Vedānta and Viśiṣṭādvaita Vedānta with ease.
Okay.
That's the thing. And in Paramata Bhaṅga, this is a very big work, not as small as this. But I brought it out. I needed to do something very quick, and for the occasion, I brought out this book as an exposition, which gives a summary of all the philosophies that Deśika refutes and establishes Viśiṣṭādvaita as the tenable philosophy. And then much later, I wrote this book for Bharatiyar's 100th death anniversary.
Okay.
Subramaniya Bharathiyar was is our national poet,
Yes.
and on his 100th death anniversary, I just thought I should bring out something. And Subramaniya Bharathiyar had connections with our Annie Besant.
Okay, really? I didn't
What
know that.
he did is, see, as a youngster, he went to Varanasi. Just from Etaipuram, he went to Varanasi, and Annie Besant had started a school there.
Okay.
So he was put in that school by his uncle, because his uncle was there, and he was actually admitted in that school.
Okay.
And where Annie Besant was the head of that school. She was the founder and head of that school. And their association begins there when he was yet a teenager. From there on, it continued, even after his coming down south to Chennai, and then it was Madras those days, after going down even to Kadalur and all. He had a good rapport with Annie Besant. Though, as a student, he's supposed to have made fun of her.
Oh, okay.
As a student.
Wow.
And also, he is supposed to have written something like some article also, which people would, in the normal course, may not have appreciated. But Annie Besant was one person who really looked beyond all these kind of things, and she saw the person in him, the kind of fervor that he had for the nation. And the thing is, when he was when he was imprisoned in Kadalur, she was one of the people who took pains to find how to get him out of prison. So she was also instrumental in that. That was a kind of association Bharatiyar had with Annie Besant.
Okay.
So I thought we should bring out a book to commemorate his 100th death anniversary. And this book in Tamil is called Jñānāṅkuśam.
Jñānāṅkuśam.
It is actually a novella, but it has a very Advaitic thought in it. So once that was, I felt attracted towards that, and naturally I took this up for my, and it's a very small novel if you think about it. But when I translated it, I found that there are so many layers and layers of meaning emerging out with each and every word, each and every sentence that he was mentioning. Therefore, I went into a deep study of that.
Wow.
This one, this one. If you see, I have done a deep study of this, and then the Tamil text also, I edited it critically from 2-3 sources, because he had originally started publishing it in one journal, but then a book was also brought out. But whatever was on the journal was missing in the book. So I put them together, and I found that these chapters were not numbered or named after a while. So I did all that with that, and that is how this book, Soaring with Bharati on the Wisdom Chariot. This is the book that came out. This picture, I did it from one of our paintings here.
Oh,
we have
already
this picture,
ready.
and people would ask, why is it there is only one, there is no horse in this? That's because Bharati never mentions a horse in this whole story. It is the Manoratha. The Manoratha, mental chariot. So it doesn't need a horse, it just flies from one land to another, from one world to another. That's the whole story about it. So these are some of the books that I have published, and right now I'm working on another compendium, a big book, Vedānta Sanyavali.
Okay.
It is
Vedānta
actually
Sanyavali.
you can call it a dictionary of sorts of all terms in Advaita Vedānta with their explanation, and I with my commentary called Radha Prakashika.
Okay. Radha Prakashika.
Yes.
Nice.
So Vedānta Sanyavali with Radha Prakashika is expected to be published by next year or so. Maybe this year end if I'm lucky, otherwise by next year. Otherwise I write a lot of articles. I lecture whenever I'm invited to, and mostly, it is all Vedanta related only. Vedanta means Advaita and Viśiṣṭādvaita related mostly, but as an editor I deal with all the other philosophies also. So this is personally what I do. And in all these endeavors I should really thank my husband and my family for standing by me. Otherwise it would not be possible for me to do so much that I'm doing now.
Sure.
So that's and here at ALRC, I should first tell you something, this is an excellent, it's an exalted place. It's not just mere brick and mortar that we see here. And I only wish, people, there are the old timers understand how important this place is.
Yeah.
How sacred this place has been.
Yes.
It is not as simple as people would just think, oh, it's a library. No, it is not just a library. There's much more to this place than the great spirits have walked in and come out. Gandhiji has come here. There have been so many noble souls who have lived here, and they have given their time and energy, their wisdom to to everything. This place, this library as such, was founded by Colonel Henry Steel Olcott in 1886 with his personal collections of books and manuscripts. He collected manuscripts from several places, all in Sanskrit, and later on Pali and Prakrit, all those were added.
Sure.
So with all those personal collections, they were all housed in the main building of the Theosophical Society. But when this place started growing up and more activities started happening, naturally you needed a building dedicated to the research activities, and so this building came into being. In 1886 he started, but in 1901 he felt that all those manuscripts and other things which are there in the collection, they need to be, there were mostly rare works and very important works, and all these need to be published. So he thought we should start a journal.
Okay.
And bring out all this with the help of, he uses a word, the Eastern Pundits and Western Orientals. That is, bringing them together to do this kind of work was what he was envisaging. And he declared this in, we have the annual conventions happening at Theosophical Society for many years now.
Sure.
In 1901, and it happens in December every year. In that convention in December 1901, in the General Council meeting, he mentioned this, that we should have a journal where the Eastern Pundits and Western Orientalists come together to bring out, all these works as publications. But though he said it, there were financial constraints, and there were other constraints also. So the first work that started was in 1911. 1911, when Dr. Otto Schrader, the German scholar, was here as the first director of the Adyar Library Research Centre. And he started, how to bring out all these things. So the very first work that he started was to bring out a descriptive catalogue of the manuscripts the Vedic manuscripts, the Upanishads basically.
Okay.
This was the very first one, our first descriptive catalogue, which was brought out by
There you go.
Otto Schrader. This was brought out by Otto Schrader in 1911. He completed that work he started his work in 1911. Right?
Yeah.
And from then on, there has been, this work of cataloging the manuscripts and bringing them. And as part of his publication work, the first thing he did was to publish the Sannyasa Upanishads and the Ahirbudnya Samhita. These were published in this much later. I'll show you. I'll talk about that in a minute. This Ahirbudnya Samhita, this is the latest edition reprint that we have brought out. But
Introduction to Pancharatna.
yes, and the Sannyasa Upanishads were also. I can show you the Sannyasa. The Sannyasa Upanishad is also a reprint. So these were the first two. Important works. The beginning, the Sannyasa Upanishads and the Ahirbudnya. These are reprints actually, but this work was started by Otto Schrader.
Okay, I see.
In 1911 he started. So the descriptive catalogue and this Sannyasa Upanishads were brought out during his tenure, and it was followed by so many other things also. So these were our two earliest publications. And then during the tenure of Pandit A. Mahadeva Shastri, when he became the director, we had these 108. We have the 108 Upanishads, and we have a commentary by Upanishad Brahma Yogin. Ours was the library which had all of them.
All of them, okay.
All of them.
Yeah.
So the work started that we should bring out a publication of all the 108 Upanishads with the commentary of Upanishad Brahma Yogi. And that work, it went on. It started in 1930 and it went on till 1936. 1936.
Okay.
That is just completing that series.
Sure.
Right? But the translations came much later. Of that, the translations were of the Yoga Upanishads in 1938.
Yoga Upanishads.
I'll show you them. Okay. They are not here. Okay, when I get it, I'll just show you the Yoga Upanishads, and then the Samanya Upanishads. We don't have a copy this one. We have the Sannyasa Upanishads here. We are run out of copies of all these Upanishads because there is a heavy demand for all these Upanishads.
Yes, I can
even
imagine.
recently we have run out of copies of even the Yoga Upanishads now. That is the kind of this one which started in 1938. That is still running. But mostly the people want to know more of the translations. I'm talking about the translations.
The meanings.
The Yoga Upanishads translations was done in 1938. And then the Samanya Upanishads was done in 1941. Then the Vaishnava Upanishads. If you see, we have the text and the translation here. If you see, the text was edited by Mahadeva Shastri.
Okay, Mahadeva
And
Shastri.
But much later came Dr. A. Raghunathan with the translation.
Translation, okay, I see.
Okay?
Wow.
So, the translation of this Vaishnava Upanishads, this came in 1945. So, this was the kind of work that goes on here from the beginning till today. And out of this 108, and Otto Schrader himself brought out the minor Upanishads during his tenure. The Yoga Upanishads is there, if you see.
Go, yes, I can
The Yoga Upanishads are here, the translation and the original. See? This is the text and this is the translation. You see, so much of this started in 1938 and it continues. So,
Yeah, the music books there too, huh? Sangeeta Ratnakara.
So, what Otto Schrader did was, he concentrated not only on these Upanishads, he saw that we have so much on aesthetics and other subjects. So we have, that Sangeeta Ratnakara is actually on the aesthetics, the Indian aesthetics. So these are the kind of works that are going on until now. We have, a good demand for all these books, these kind of works, which started then. But in all this, what happened is the Dashopanishads, the Mukhya Upanishads, the 10 main,
Yes.
were left out
Okay.
for translation. The whole thing must have stopped, around 1970 or so, is what I think. So, as part of our projects that we would be doing, we would be translating the Dashopanishad.
Okay.
Yeah, and it most probably it would be me who would do all of them, if I'm fortunate enough, or if I'm fortunate to get help, we can do the other Upanishads by other scholars also.
Certainly.
So anyway, so this is how we started our publication work, and the just bringing out the texts of the Upanishads, which started in 1930, was completed in 1936. Translations are going on now. We are going to restart the translation. The Upanishads will be translated soon. Then, out of all these things, what we have, a very important thing is, like I told you, this Colonel Olcott, he wanted to bring out a journal,
Yes.
right? So when Kannan Raja took over, he said, okay, we already have the same bulletin, and we'll use the same thing, and we will start publishing our works in this bulletin itself. So in 1937, our first volume of Brahmavidyā was published. This is our first volume of Brahmavidyā. And try to get to a page so that you can see the dates here. Okay.
Yes. Okay. 1937. Yes.
1937 it began. What they did was, in 1937, they decided they will bring out this Brahmavidyā in 4 parts. How, if you see, 17th February 1907, Colonel Olcott passed away. So they said, what we will do is, we will bring out the first part on the 17th February of every year. Second part of it will be brought out on 8th May.
8th of May.
To commemorate H.P. Blavatsky, Madam H.P. Blavatsky. So, 8th May. Every year.
It came out, there you go, yes.
8th May. Every year. And then they said, the third part will be on October 1 every year, in memory of Dr. Annie Besant.
Okay, there you go.
That is the third part. Then, at that time, this one was G.S. Arundale was the president. Dr. G.S. Arundale was the president.
Okay.
So, to honor him, they said on December 1st every year, we will bring out the fourth part.
Okay.
So, it is just one volume every year, but brought out in 4 parts. And if you see, the very first work that was published in this was Rig Veda by Otto Schrader, with the commentary of Madhava, which it was said that there was only one copy available of that manuscript, and of Madhava's commentary. And this is that work, Rig Veda Vakya by Madhava Krita. This is the very first thing that was brought out.
Very interesting.
And in this first volume, they also brought out a few other texts. Like there was this, all the Yoga Upanishads, which you see here, was originally they started publishing in that first volume. It continued, and then it was edited by Pandit Srinivasa Shastri and T.R. Srinivasa Iyengar. Now, T.R. Srinivasa Iyengar was involved with a lot of these Upanishads, in editing a lot of these Upanishads. And then there is also the Ashvalayana Grahya Sutra in this first volume, where another commentary, Devaswami commentary, which is again a rare commentary. So this was what Colonel Olcott wanted, and Dr. Otto Schrader was able to go along with that, the aim of the founder, and they were able to, and there were all these scholars who came together to do this kind of work. And now, see, this was the first volume in 1937, right?
Okay.
This is our current volume, 2025.
The Adyar Library Bulletin.
Yes, this is our current. So you can imagine how many volumes we have been publishing over years.
And it's still coming out 3 times a year, 4 times a
No,
year?
no more.
Once a
It is
year?
only once a year because
Once
there are because here people get
Yes.
confused when you bring out 4 times. They think we are bringing 4 volumes. It's not
Okay,
so. It is
no,
just
no.
one volume.
One volume.
So we do it once a year. That is the way we are going about it.
Sure.
And as far as the current projects are concerned, like I mentioned that the Upanishads are there, that we want to be the Upanishads. You see, this is the original one, the Upanishads, right? This is only the text in it. Only the Sanskrit text was brought out.
Okay, I see.
And it was actually revised by A. Raghunathan at a much later date also. This the Upanishad was brought out in 2 parts, but actually in 3 different books we have. Simply because other than the Chandogya Upanishad and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, those are 2 big ones.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah. So other than that, everything else came in part 1.
I see.
Then in part 2, it had 2 of them. One is Chandogya Upanishad, the other is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad.
So much research there.
Yes. Now this again is
Editing.
only the text.
Yes.
We are talking about only the text.
Yes.
And these are by Upanishad Brahma Yogin's commentary.
Okay.
They will have Shankara's commentary also, but Upanishad Brahma Yogin's commentary is there. Now, as far, regarding the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, when we wanted to do it, it is in such bad state that we have just we will be revising that and bringing out a new, not a revised edition. With all the, we have to bring out a revised. Chandogya Upanishad they have been able to do, but after Dr. Shankara Narayanan, there has been nobody. Now we have one Swamiji here, one Lalita. He is willing to do it, but it will take time, and he will do it. But in the meantime, I will be taking care of the translation of all the 10 Upanishads. So this is the thing regarding the Upanishad work, which started during the time of Otto Schrader.
All the way back to now.
Yes. So after all these years, we want to complete this work. We don't want to leave it just like that. We want to complete this, and so that Upanishad work which started during Otto Schrader's time can be completed now. Is one thing. The other thing that we would be taking up is like this thing I said, this Paramata Bhaṅga, it's actually a big text, not as small as this that you think. Paramata Bhaṅga, every chapter that Deśika wrote will have a poem in the beginning and in the end. And in between, in Maṇipravāla, he would have given his refutation in the prose order. So that is very deep, basically. And a few scholars have got together now, including myself, to analyze, select chapters to begin with for Paramata Bhaṅga.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right? So right now we are we would study 7 chapters from Paramata Bhaṅga. The 7 chapters would be Advaita Vedānta, then there will be Nyaya, Purva Mīmamsa, there is Nirishara Mīmamsa, and then there will be something on yoga. And Vedānta Deśika, Rāmanuja and Vedānta Deśika, they were asserting that Pancharatra Agamas have the same validity for Viśiṣṭādvaita. So one scholar will be concentrating on Pancharatra Agama. So we have 7 of them who would be talking about the different 7 different philosophies in the first phase of this analysis of Paramata Bhaṅga. So the main people who are involved in this is Professor Francis Clooney from the Harvard Divinity School, Professor Eliza Fesci And then there is Dr. Manas Akapaya Purnachai, and then there is Dr. Daniel,
I know Manas and Frank Clooney, yes.
Recently also he won an award for the best book, right? And then we have Dr. Sucharita Adluri, and then I'll be doing it. So I'll be doing 2 chapters of Advaita Vedānta and Veda Veda. The others will be taking up Yoga, Nirishwara Vedanta, Nirishwara, Mimamsa, Pancharatra, and others. So this is how we will be trying to do this Paramata Bhaṅga to begin with, and if we are lucky, we'll be able to go for the other philosophies also, analyze the other philosophies also in that book, Paramata Bhaṅga. And besides this, we are bringing out this Brahmavidyā regularly, and we are working on our own manuscripts.
Yes.
Which we have. I told you, we have nearly 40 to 45,000 texts in 18,000 bundles of manuscripts.
Unbelievable, so many.
And we have, printed books, we have more than 2 lakhs. That is not something which we say, but our concentration is on bringing out our own manuscripts. So whatever are very important, whatever are rare, whatever are unpublished is what we are trying to identify and bring them.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the times have changed drastically. We don't get scholars who are interested to come and do this work.
Right.
Because there are greener pastures elsewhere, and here most of us are volunteers, and everybody has a passion for this knowledge, and we find that it is not expressed. Maybe they have it, but whatever be the constraints, and the knowledge level is also not that. This one, if they come to, if they offer the services, we need people who are dedicated to this. That much we do. So what we have now devised is, we will be training our own staff members here in Sanskrit.
Wow.
They will learn Sanskrit.
Right.
They will learn Devanagari. They will learn the Grantha script. Later on the Telugu script, maybe the Malayalam script, everything. It will be an in-house effort hereafter. The team is there.
Wow.
Every one of them will start pooling their little time and whatever to start transcribing or transliterating whatever manuscripts we have. So to that extent, we have the text getting ready. And then, with a few other people who are technically sound, we will be able to publish them as texts. So this is one move that we have started. This is a project we have started, and very soon they will be writing one of the first exams in Sanskrit. Our staff members will be doing that very soon. That is one thing. The other big the thing that we have done is we want to keep up with the times. That is one thing. But then we also have severe shortage of manpower.
Right.
So what we have done now, we are also getting into computerizing, that is digitizing all our books and manuscripts here. So as a first phase, we have completed listing all the printed books. So more than 2 lakhs printed books are now catalogued through the Koha software.
Oh, that's great.
Right? That is what we have done with all the details of the authors and this one. So we people would know what books are available in our library. And the team members are here who are primarily with the Koha software. Another person who started this is away in Vancouver, celebrating the 150th year. One Mrs. Jayanti, she is away. That is Mrs. Inmuri, and that is Mrs. Yamini. That is Mrs. Yamini. They are primarily involved with this, and of course, it is thanks to that Swamiji Lalita, who is the brain behind all these things, and he does this training, the technical training for all of them, teaches everything. So that is one other thing that we come to. Another thing that we are doing, we have done is to have our own website. So that we are able to give directly information about what is going on here, and the public can contact us directly. We were part of, we had a page in the TS website, but that was not sufficient for us to show what was happening here.
Right.
So now when we have our website ourselves, it helps to put in more information, to give more information there, and for people to contact us directly. And as part of our scholarly activities, we have started holding annual seminars,
Okay.
theme-based seminars. This is the third year in a row that we had a seminar where we call the scholars, experts in respective fields of Indology-related subjects, and we each one is able to present a paper in depth and with no constraint on time, because each one gets 1 hour to present a paper.
Okay.
So that gives enough time, for interaction also.
Sure.
So that is the kind of thing that we have started. So this is where we are heading towards keeping with the times. And of course, all the staff members are now being exposed to computer training, so that at some point of time when everything becomes computerized, they all know how exactly to operate. So this is how we are going about it. And yes, we are looking forward to bringing out more books, bringing out more of our manuscripts into print. So,
Certainly. Well, it seems like there are so many wonderful initiatives happening, with the times and
but
so
here
on.
I should really thank our president, Mr. Tim Boyd. He is one person who can really give thought to what we want and what we are trying to achieve. And so a great part of this is because he stands by us. That's important.
Right.
And of course, here we have our the international secretary and international treasurer, who naturally we cannot run without all these money and other things. And then we have the general manager, Mr. Jay Kumar, who is here. The international secretary is Maria Atama, and the international treasurer is Mrs. Nancy Sequest. Our general manager is Mr. Jay Kumar, and all of these people, they are supportive. Without them, all this cannot fructify.
Right.
All this is possible only because they support us. Appropriately. So we at ALRC are very thankful to them for all these changes which are happening. If you saw the kind of restoration work that is going on, it is not something which is happened very this one. This is our latest this one that we did just on June.
Okay. Science is based on Indian knowledge systems.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
In the first one, Professor Clooney, in the crossroads of this one, I forgot that, where we were discussing all the texts in the 20th and 21st century. He was the one who gave the keynote at that time.
As the former director of the Center for the Study of World Religions.
Yes. So he was the one who started the whole thing. And from there on, we did another last year on performing arts and visual arts and the consonances between them. And this time we did it on the sciences.
There you go.
So we'll be going deeper now. Well, subject-wise we will go. Because first we started on a general basis. Gradually we are bringing it, into subject, this one, focusing on each subject. All based on our Indological texts, Indological knowledge.
Sure. Well, based on that knowledge, I think I just have maybe one or two questions for you.
Yes.
Short. The first one I noticed when you were showing this soaring with Bharati, that you had a section in here called, what was it here? Was it occult elements of Tamil text? Here it is. The occult element in Tamil speech. And I'm really curious here because the subtitle of this podcast is the Occult South Asia Podcast, and this word can mean so many different things, right? Depending on where we're at. And here's the.
It has been quite some time since this was written by Subramaniya Bharathiyar.
Okay.
This is an article by him
Interesting. Okay.
and in English. He wrote both in Tamil and English, and he knew more than 30 languages,
Okay.
almost 30 languages. By some people say 18 languages. It doesn't matter. He spoke
Right.
Bengali, Hindi, English, French, Russian, so many languages. He was quite a linguist.
Yeah.
And there, he wrote. This is his. This one.
Okay,
This
I
is his
His
article.
using.
Yes.
Okay.
This is his article, and here is talking about the thing first person singular none. So he brings out all that when all these things, even normal Tamil words like utkar, to sit, that it can have an inner meaning.
The inner meaning.
Yes.
Okay.
There is something much more than that. This is what he writes here in this. See, for example, he writes the word tuni.
Tuni.
Tuni. In Tamil it is only tuni, but even in Tamil it can have two different meanings. One can mean the cloth,
The cloth tuni. Yeah.
and the other can mean courage.
Okay. Huh.
So he says, the Tamil language is so rich.
Yes.
There is so much hidden in it for us to understand. That's what he is trying to convey in his article. This is his article. And here, this whole book, Jñānāṅkuśam, is actually a critical text from different sources.
Sure.
This is, and the translation is here. So this is about Jñānāṅkuśam. Yeah. Then.
And so then I guess the second question would be, you talked a lot about Vedanta
Yes.
and Viśiṣṭādvaita, and I'm wondering, just for our viewers who might not be specialists, if you could say sort of, how are, first of all, what does Vedanta mean to you, and how does it compare to these sort of various schools and teachings? And secondly, what are some of the practical ways in which this is applied? Like how do people see Vedanta today as like a path, for living their life?
Yeah. Now, if we say Vedanta, generally it is translated as the end of the Vedas. Now that is misunderstood as if Veda is one book and you come to the end of it, and that is called Vedanta.
Okay.
It's not so.
Okay.
When we say the end of the Vedanta, it
Yeah.
means the final purport of what the Vedas are trying to convey. So it is the philosophical aspect that it is suggesting.
Sure.
That is what the exact translation of the end of the Vedas. Quietly, what is it you take at the end of it all? The philosophy. And that is what it's conveyed. And that is present in the Upaniṣads, portions of the Vedas. Because other portions which have the mantras and the brahmanas, they talk more of all the rituals and the religious aspects of everything, which everybody should follow in his own, according to their station of life, whether he is a student, like we say, brahmachari, or householder, grahastha, or a vanaprastha. Everybody, even a sannyasi has some duties and some discipline to follow. All that has been mentioned. These are all, the discipline to be, the do's and don'ts are mentioned in the other portions.
Okay.
And yes, the mantras are there as to, for particular religious rites, what are the mantras to be used and what are the other practices to be done during that time. They're all spelt. But the Upanishads talk about something much more, beyond all these things.
Sure.
That there is a fourth purpose. Like we divide the pursuits as four: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Now, if you see, actually, artha is what we start with. Material pursuit is what we start with generally. And kama is desire. Now I go after any pursuit only if I have a kama for it, if I have a desire for it.
Right.
But then if you see, dharma is placed first.
Yes.
The ethics, the righteousness is placed first. That means what? It says whatever you may do, you should be on the right path. And there is a right path for each and every person, each and every duty or each and every responsibility. Like a king, when he wants to rule the land, he cannot simply go kill a civilian just because he is a king,
Right.
because he gets angry. But the same king will go and kill his enemy if he has to protect his people. Now, what is the dharma there for the same person? Or let us talk about, in modern parlance, we give the example of a doctor, a surgeon. In the normal course, he is trying to give you a medicine just to note it. But if it goes beyond, what does he do? He is going to chop off, that organ which is creating the problem.
Sure.
Now, does it make him a butcher?
No.
Okay, it's not killing, it is not, harming the person. He is trying to save, like whatever. So, these are the kind of things that the Dharma talks about. Even when you are going to pursue Artha, or even when you are going to pursue Kama. Kama is what? Desire. And the desire can be for anything, whether it is a material desire or even a sensuous desire. Or finally it comes to liberation, moksha. But you have to follow that dharma. That is why dharma is placed first.
I see.
And finally comes this moksha. Not everybody is going to give thought to moksha, because there is a constraint of time or the constraint of understanding, because that is a heavy subject in itself.
Sure.
But the Upanishads deal with that, with the concept of moksha. And when it comes to dealing with the concept of moksha, you have to think about something which is the highest goal. I'm there, the Advaitin will say it is Brahman, which is beyond all names and forms. Viśiṣṭādvaita will say it is there, but it has its own name and form, because this whole creation is its body. Like Viśiṣṭādvaita says that. Saiva Siddhantin would call that highest being as Shiva. Or a Shakta would call it as Shakti, as the highest thing. Like if you went into this Sri Vidya Upasana and everything, the Sri Vidya, she is supposed to be the highest. That equated with Brahman. She becomes Brahmi. So this way the understanding goes on, but their interpretations differ from the same Upanishads. Now, when we talk about Shaivism or Shaktism, they go more into the Agama portion, whereas the Vedantins stick to the Vedic Upanishads. And here we have the interpretations. Like I said, completely talking about Brahman as beyond all names and forms, and all these things can be looked upon as his body, and all these things, he is a soul which is there in all these bodies. So this is one way of talking about this one. I always say, choose what you are comfortable with, where you feel more comfortable with, where you can relate to. If you are highly, if you want to be truly very intellectual and completely this one, go for Advaita. Or no, I am quite an emotional person, I would like to feel connected, that everything. Let me remain a Viśiṣṭādvaita. And I straddle between both. It with ease. I'm telling you, I'm not uncomfortable at all. At one moment to feel, when I go to the temple, enjoying the idol with all the decoration and this and that, I find that emotional connect automatically. But by myself, when I'm going through so much of this one introspection, I would say, what does all this mean? No, this is not the body, this is not. I can go on with that neti and bring it to Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. So it all depends on what I want at that and what I am convinced about. So it's also a matter of being conviction, but it cannot happen just like that. Learning Vedanta is not through books, certainly not through books. You have to go to a traditional teacher. A traditional teacher who has learnt it in the traditional way, in the parampara. That is insisted upon.
I see.
So even the shloka goes on like that. Narayana Padma Bhavam, etc. So it starts with the Lord himself as the first teacher and comes down until that particular guru under whom I am learning. And that knowledge is passed on from one teacher to, and this person becomes another teacher, and then the third teacher. Everybody, it goes on. That is how it is passed on. So when it comes to Vedanta, one must go and study only under a traditional teacher.
I see.
It is not simply an academic pursuit. And unfortunately today everybody thinks that academically I have read, this translation and that translation and I have understood everything. No. It's only the tip of the iceberg that you are touching, but there is much more inside and you can never feel it. And if you don't feel it, you are not going to get the essence of it. So the main thing when it comes to Vedanta is to go along with that it's not even a sentiment, it is the conviction. That is important. The conviction is important. And Vedanta, yes, when you talk about the Upanishads, yes, you would say the Vedas are books of the Hindus, but not necessarily. They have, a universal lesson, there's something universal in them, and especially the Upanishads has everything universal in them. So, it is important that I approach it in the right manner, not with a just from an academic angle,
Sure.
or just out of a fleeting interest. There are people who would come and tell me, you go to Swami Paramatmananda, I have also been to his lectures. I said, that's wonderful. But you know what, I have also been to his Guru's lectures. Which Guru? Because I know he had two Gurus.
Okay.
Which Guru? Swami Dayananda Saraswati. I said, that's wonderful. No, whenever Swami Dayananda Saraswati came to Dubai to give his lecture for 10 days, I have, tried to attend whenever I got the time. Now you just imagine, in 10 days, when Swami Dayananda Saraswati comes and addresses, he is not going to keep a big text like Brahma Sutra and talk about the commentary in that. He is going to talk in a general manner. For you to understand that there is something called Vedanta. If you want to be interested, go deeper into it. But by my just going once in a year, in that 10 days, I'm not 10, just sitting through 45 minutes of a 1 hour lecture, how much am I deriving?
Right.
I just get an idea.
Yeah.
But where is the conviction? So, any knowledge, whether it is Vedanta or any other Siddhanta, anything, if I am into it, I must be convinced. And for that, I must go to a traditional teacher to learn.
Do you have a traditional teacher? Or
Swami Paramathananda Saraswati is a traditional teacher.
Paramatma?
Paramathananda Saraswati.
Okay. And where is he live?
He is here in Chennai.
In Chennai?
He has been lecturing for more than 45 years. He lectures in English and then in Tamil also if he goes to those places inside Tamil Nadu. But he is very, very highly respected among the Vedanta teachers of present day.
Sure.
In the present day. He deals with all the Vedanta texts, Advaita Vedanta texts. So, you have that. And there have been many more Vedanta teachers who have trained under him and have become traditional teachers.
Okay.
Many more people who trained under him, who studied under him and became traditional teachers. So the system continues.
Well, I certainly can sense your conviction for what you write about and for your teaching and for your position, as a part of the Adyar Library Research Centre. So I guess just to close, is there anything else that you would like to share with the viewers or audience from your experience?
Yes, our knowledge systems needs to be acknowledged, and that acknowledgement can come only when people really show interest in all that is available in all our repositories as manuscripts, or when they get published as books. Not many books can be published from all the manuscripts that we have, because it is highly time consuming as well as needs a lot of expertise to understand the subject to write about them. So it would be highly desirable if experts in each and every Indological subject who are very strong in the languages, whether it is English or other languages, and who have a strong knowledge base of that particular subject, come together to explore all these manuscripts and bring them out as books, not for any monetary value, because there is no monetary value, no monetary return available in these things. But the knowledge will stay because as much as our teachers share their knowledge freely with us, it is our responsibility to hand this knowledge over to the generations to come. So this is all, is what I would be looking at as my plea as well as my wish with all people.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dr. Radha Raghunathan, for your time, and we wish you and the ALRC all the best.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ज्ञानभक्तिपराकिय संकोलं दरदर संदोषं नित्यदिरप्ति सुखिर्वं स्वच्छिदानन्दस्वरूपं दृष्टिलयपोदभवनादीदं ब्रह्मज्ञान शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्